Graybeard Gaming. Hey everybody, welcome to the Graybeard Gaming Podcast. I'm your host Scott, and photons act differently when not observed. As always, I have with me, just Liam. And this week we're going to talk about the Xbox Developers Direct, obviously. We're going to discuss some stuff about AI and gaming, and maybe some other things, probably something about Ubisoft. So, without further ado, let's start talking about what we played this week. Liam, I guess we'll start with you, since David is absent this week. He'll be back next week, don't worry.
Well, I have got back into Diablo a little bit, because they started a new season.
Oh my god. So what is the new season?
The new season is witchcraft powers, and kind of cool, to be honest. It's not like massive changes like they did for the past 4 seasons when they overhaul the game every time. But yeah, they're sort of refining stuff and just adding smaller quality of life updates.
Cool.
Yeah, they did add new things. You know, they added an armory, so you could have like set builds to your character, but you can like swap them on the fly in armory, so you don't have to like change your gear and your stats every time if you want to do something different. So that's cool. But yeah, just some quality of life, some extra stuff to do, and I think the novelty of Diablo is wearing off for me now, to be honest. Because I never played that sort of game before, I was also so hyped for it. And
it's new too.
It is very new, and now it's like, okay, so yeah, this is what we get every season, every time now. I still have fun with it, but yeah, just I don't know. I did get a unique. I was running a dungeon and the butcher came along, so I killed him.
Is that random? Is that just like he just shows up in any dungeon?
Oh yeah. He can just show up whenever. You know, it's random. Yeah, so he just shows up. But once you're like high enough level, you can dispatch him easily. Okay. If you're low level, he just comes in and trances you. So
Been
it's
there.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time you see him, like, what the hell is that? Like, oh yeah,
the butcher.
But I got unique from him. It's like, the butcher's cleaver, and there's a weapon, and my class can't use weapons, so I have to make another class now just to use that weapon. Because I'm just a sorcerer. This one, I thought, well, it's gonna be witchcraft. I might as well be a witch.
Sorcerer's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing that and been playing a bit of FIFA with friends when they're on, because we'd like to just have a kick about on the game.
Yeah,
and it's busted. The game's busted on FIFA.
Isn't it busted every year?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's busted every year. It's just the same. This is just like the same stuff every year they do. This is the problem we have. We play a mode called clubs. Basically, you have your player, I have my player. Like, we create our own players in this team.
Okay.
And then like we can all go online. Say there's like 10 of us. We can all go online and play, and we're each one person in the club, in the whole team, which is really cool. Like, so like a few of us go online. That's basically all we do, is just play that, because that's the only like multiplayer past 2 people you can play in FIFA, is that mode. That's a lot of fun for us when it works, and it's broken this year. Every time like we ready up, someone gets kicked.
That is so frustrating.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I got kicked. I'm like, I'll go back again.
Yeah.
And now we have this. We had 2 bugs today. One's reoccurring. One's new. One of my friends, he said, "Hey, I've got a problem. I can't see any of the players. All the players on the pitch turned invisible for him."
Yeah, I can see how that would be a problem. Yeah.
He couldn't even see his own. You could just see little markers like across the pitch everywhere.
Yeah.
Just the ball going. It's like, oh wow. God. That lost it for a match. But the most annoying one is when we actually play a match, the match finishes.
Yeah.
We click next, and it says we won, so it should give us points.
But it doesn't?
As soon as we click next, the game goes, the server crashed, and it puts us back, but it doesn't give us any points whatsoever. It's like the match never existed.
Okay.
So that's all like match gone.
So just
And
so everybody knows, what version are you playing? Which
we're
one
playing
is
the
this?
series version. Right.
That doesn't have a
Yeah.
year on it. That's not like FIFA
Oh, oh,
2024
oh,
or
oh yeah, 25. Yeah, the latest
okay,
one.
okay,
FC,
all right. So
FC
the latest
25.
one, okay, is garbage. Okay, got it.
It's garbage. And then I saw a report on EA, just because they put out their financials. What a surprise! FC 25 has performed lower than previous entries
Yeah, I saw that. Between that and Veilguard last year,
and Veilguard.
they got
So
hurt
yeah,
bad. Yeah,
so they are losing money, and no wonder because FC 25 is a broken piece of crap. and we're feeling it now. Like
yeah,
we just want a good football game because that's the only thing we really do. Like we got this whole like friend group of ours that we really enjoy football, but that's the only game that's out. Like that's the
yeah.
only thing there is.
I think about that too because our football here is like Madden. Like every year,
Yeah.
EA puts out a Madden. So it's not like you're reinventing the game every year. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not. It's not like you're reinventing. It's like the new football.
Yeah.
It's the same game. Just how do they not? I don't understand the quality control to that. I mean, I mean, you're putting it out yearly, but at the same time, it's not even like a Call of Duty. It's not like you're having to change up, how you kick a ball, how you goal, how a player runs. I mean, it's all there. They just need to, refine it. Thinking about it, this should be the most pristine, well-programmed game in existence, right?
I mean, in theory, it should be, but
In
EA.
theory, right?
So
Yeah. Why is it the worst?
the problem they have is because it comes out yearly. I don't think it gives them enough time to actually make any significant changes. Say if this is like the base code of the game right here, and it's like, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. The bugs are here. The bugs are in the base game. Saying.
So it's like all the bugs are still there from like the previous version, and they're just adding and adding to it.
So it's just added until the game is like just busted.
Yeah.
They need to fix the core game. Well, not add 25, 26, 27.
That's what I've always thought about like Madden is that, and I don't play these games, so if I'm saying something and sounding like a total idiot, that's because I am. So if you stop making a yearly game, like why not just have like FIFA, and then add things to it periodically, like a live service game. Mm-hmm. So as like new teams have new rosters and things like that, you just add those and swap those out. But refine the game as you go and make it just really, really good. I don't know why they can't do that with Madden as well.
I know EA was thinking about that, like that live service push, but Konami did it with Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
And killed it. It's dead. Like they put eFootball out and that was like 4 years ago, and there's nothing.
Was it because it was a live service, or was it because it's just a shitty game?
It was a live service that they didn't do anything with. Like they were like, "Hey, this is our new game, our new platform thing.
Yeah,
that will expand across mobile and console, PC, wherever you are." Sort of thing. It was pitched to be this updated game. 4 years later, there's nothing there. There's literally nothing. Like, the mode is a very light version of Ultimate Team, that kind of thing. But, like, previous, like, entries of these football games, like Pro Evolution Soccer, they would have career mode, manager mode, this mode, player mode, online. That's all gone. That's all scrapped for this bare bones nothing that they've had years to do, and there's still nothing. So I don't understand how you can mess up a sports game. I don't get it.
I guess that I guess that it needs to be yearly. I guess that's what kind of maybe excites and keeps that excitement going for like the next version. Because I know that benefits Call of Duty. I've said that all the time. It's like, I wish they'd just make Call of Duty and just one thing and then just add to it. That's for me. I mean, that's just me personally. I don't say, I doubt that's a good idea business-wise. Because like now, we're playing Black Ops 6. It's like, okay, well, it's January. I'm already thinking, what's the next one? What are we getting
Yeah.
next year? And if it was just adding to it, I would just be thinking, well, what are we getting added, yearly, and probably well, I probably wouldn't even be thinking about it at all. So maybe it does have to be that yearly to just promote that excitement toward those games.
Yeah. I mean, it comes to sports where they put out yearly because sports fans will pay for anything.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is true.
like the hardcore sports fans, they'll pay for anything, won't they? I know
Yeah.
people who will spend every single year season tickets to their clubs, get
Mm-hmm.
all the t-shirts, get all the merch. So a yearly game is nothing to them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was there as well because every year, because I was brought up in like a big football household. All my friends would be like, "Yeah, let's get a new one, let's get a new one." Even if it's the same thing, you still
Yeah.
want the new one because this player's gone here and there, and
Yes,
and it was all
excitement.
and it was all football vibes. But
yeah, I mean, it's probably just the sports mentality. I mean, when a new season starts, you're excited about the new season, just like you would be getting the new FIFA game or the Madden game. So yeah, I guess I get it. I guess I understand. That's why it has to be yearly. But man, they just need to make it work.
Because we have these like other football games in development that might not be out for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And the rest is just garbage. There's nothing else out. That's a problem with EA. They have like a monopoly on sports games, and no one can touch them because no one wants to make these games for some reason. Like,
so
how hard is it?
Why would you have to make them great? People will still buy them.
Yeah. People will buy them because
I think we're working through something here, man. We're working through something. I think we're finding out they don't have to be good.
I know.
They're gonna sell them anyway.
I know. It's frustrating though because you just want to.
Absolutely.
Because you want to enjoy it. That's all. Like we will give money, just make it good.
Yeah.
Like we want to.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gonna break at some point. You can only. People are only going to buy that product so many times before they're like, I'm not wasting my money on this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with teams that don't win. It's hard to fill those seats if your home team or whatever keeps losing. They want winners because winners sell tickets and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Is that all you played this week? Just the usuals? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play a whole lot this week. I've been playing through Indiana Jones again and finding like all this stuff that I missed. It's just been like, you get these little things, right? And they're like collectibles. So you don't have to have them. Okay. And they look like just little, odd shaped pieces of clay, and they all looked identical, and you find them like throughout the missions that you have. So when I at the end of my first playthrough, I had all this stuff, and when you collect them, you get points and for your upgrades and shit. So it made sense to find them, and I like to look around. Well, this playthrough, I got like halfway through and found a wall that happens to fit, has these pegs or these holes that you can put these things in. So I just start filling the holes with all of the things I collected. And I had enough to open a door and open the door to get another one. But I don't remember that being there, that last time. I was like, I totally missed this little alcove, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a door? But it's got pegs on it. And I walked up to it, and it, when you walk up to it, it shows you, it's like push tab for it and insert said whatever you need to, put in there. And I did that. Man, that made me so happy. I was just like, holy crap, I've been toting this shit around. And now, and it actually came to fruition that you used them. And still, I played through the same cutscenes and everything and laughed at the same spots and caught some other nods to other movies that I missed the first time. It's just, man, this game is just go play it. It's great. I also played a game that is coming out tomorrow, January 28th, called Eternal Strands. There's a demo on Steam, and it's a third-person like action RPG. and a kind of an open world with elemental magic and melee combat. And you do play a preset female character, so there's no like character creation or anything. It's a preset character. It looks great. It does have kind of an animated look to it, and the combat. You do have different weapons you can use, bow and arrow and sword and stuff you can buy. But you also have like elemental power. Like in the demo, I've got ice power, which you can freeze things or like make a bridge. You're kind of like Iceman. And you also have like a physics power, like you can pick stuff up and throw it. And so it makes combat, it's a lot of fun. But, it's like, I went through the first cutscene and I did all this, and I'm like, I can't tell you what this game is about. Like, I can't tell you the story. It was just like, this is so generic. I mean, it's just like if somebody said, tell me the difference between Burger King and McDonald's French fries. I'd be like, one of them's more salty. I don't know. It's just, bleh. The characters in it, again, it's a female character. She's very bland. And then you go talk to these other characters. And this is just in the demo. I'm just not the full game. It's not a review or anything. All of the male characters are kind of like stupid and weak. And all the female characters are like super strong and stoic. And it just reminds me, it's just like you're playing the same character of every game right now. And I just don't, how does that happen? Like, how does this studio make the same characters as this studio over there with being in a completely different part of the world? It reminds me of movies, right? And when you make a movie and then like the summer movies come out, and hang on a second, and get blinded. So I'm going to bring up this this website, and I'm gonna show you an example of this. So I remembered the movie Armageddon. I don't know if you ever seen that. But the same year, it's about an asteroid that's going to destroy the world, right? And they send astronauts up to blow it up. Well, the same year, another movie called Deep Impact came out, which guess what? It's about a giant asteroid that's going to blow up destroy the world unless we blow it up with a spaceship. Same movie, different execution, different people, obviously, but the same plot line. So I went and looked at, there's a whole slew of these. 1998, Ants, which was a animated movie about bugs, and A Bug's Life, same year. Chasing Liberty and the First Daughter was about the first daughter, and, it's like a cheesy romance thing. The Illusionist and The Prestige, almost the same exact movie, same year. Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down. Both movies came out in summer 2013. The same movie. Dante's Peak and Volcano's better. 1997.
I like Dante's Peak.
I like both of them, but that guy walking in the lava in Volcano to help the people, like, oh man, that's just could you imagine? Ouch. Snow White and the Huntsman and Mirror Mirror, same year. Red Planet, Mission to Mars, same year. Kick-Ass and Super, same year. How does this happen? How does this collectively happen? That is my question. It seems like it's the same female character that just walks in and goes, hey. And then you go in to talk to this other character. And then, of course, the strongest person in the entire camp is a woman of color. And it's normally, like, if this game was just not like that, or not, if this game was like that, and not every other game was like that, I wouldn't even notice. I wouldn't notice it. I would be like, this game's fun. I like this game. And it's not that I don't like the game. It just is so weird to me that why are they all the same characters? I don't understand that. And how does this happen? How does it?
I mean, like we talked about this before,
right?
And
it's boring.
We said like it's the same people in it.
Yeah, it's the same characters of like every game I'm playing right now.
But the people behind it, it's the same sort of activists. It's the same agenda. It's the
It's got
same
to be,
type of
yeah,
person running behind the scenes.
yeah,
So I'm hoping that future games will, divert from that, because we've seen a lot of failure, a lot of studio closure, a
yeah.
lot of, not liking these type of
Yeah,
games.
this
I
game,
hope,
I feel like this game has potential, and I don't want it to
yeah,
get lost in that, oh, that's a female character, it's woke, so nobody plays
yeah,
it, you know.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
where
Dragon Age got lost in that, and I don't think it deserved to, but
that's
people
where we
didn't like it.
disagree.
People
I
didn't like it anyway, so
I feel
whatever.
like it was woke the game, but again, I'm a longtime Dragon Age fan. That was very disappointing to me. I did not like it, but again, if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And in
I
this
mean,
game too.
I'm only concerned about BioWare's future now. That's
Oh,
really
we
why
can talk
I'm
about that in a
worried.
second because I was gonna
Yeah.
see if we can bring that up. But as far as this game, again, I'm not like trashing or anything. I'm not saying don't play it. It's woke. Blah, blah, blah. It's just what I notice in it.
Yeah.
I'm playing the demo. It's gonna go on Game Pass tomorrow, and I'm kind of excited about it. I want to, download it, play it again, start from the beginning, maybe pay more a little attention to the story. It may be better than I remember. It just seems so generic and
No. I mean,
they just
I'm
lost on me.
interested. I'm interested in powers and different things. So I'm interested in that
Yeah, the combat is
aspect.
fun. The combat is fun. There's exploration, and sometimes that's really all I want. I'm in that mood right now where it's like I don't really care about the story, and I don't want to play something that's like Diablo where you're just like, fight, 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 just constant combat. I want something that I like, a new world to kind of play around in and explore
Yeah, yeah.
and see new things. But it is fun. It's like you've got enemies coming at you, you can pick them up and just throw them off a cliff, and then freeze another one, and then it's really cool. So it's Eternal Strands. It'll be out tomorrow on Steam and Game Pass. So check it out. But yeah, you were talking about Veilguard, the creative director or the game director recently left.
Yeah.
Left. I think that when a game does very poorly and then the person in charge of it abruptly goes, "Oh, I got another job." Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means you're fired. I'm not, again, it's it's I think that it's great that these companies probably go to them and go, "Hey, you're gone, but we'll let you say whatever you want, like how you left, to help you get a job, somewhere else." Or they just, they just think, "Hey, maybe I should probably leave before that happens." I don't know. But yeah, this person has left, and the last patch, I think it's patch 5. Have you downloaded that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patch 5.
The way that they worded it sounds like it might be the last.
Yeah,
That he's
because
done.
even when the game came out, they were like, right, it's done, moving on. Like no
Yeah.
DLC,
Yeah, no
no nothing.
DLC, no
So
anything. It's
yeah,
done.
so yeah, just bug fixes and they moved on. That was
Yeah.
it.
It's I worry about Mass Effect because EA did get their numbers in. It's not looking good, and I don't know. This 2025. We saw this in the last 2 years, right? A game comes out. It's supposed to be a huge title. It's not. It doesn't sell well. It doesn't go over well. It makes a lot of people mad. And then the studio either has a lot of layoffs or they get closed altogether.
Yeah.
I think we'd be stupid to think that this is not going to affect the development of Mass Effect in some way, some capacity, either by maybe laying off a bunch of people from that BioWare. I think was it BioWare Edmonton? I think. Which studio was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember which one it was. What's interesting is the
They
fact
get
that
sick to the
BioWare
other one.
now they said like we don't know what we're doing kind of thing. Not in like game development aspect, but normally BioWare has a team of, right, you have this team to make one game, that team to make another game, that team to make another game.
Right.
They normally work on different things at different times. Now they're all working on one project because that's literally the only thing they have left is Mass Effect. So it's everyone.
Right. That we know
and
of. Right.
And they don't know, I don't think they know how to manage everyone. Because they haven't worked like that before.
No.
So you think that's a good thing, but So I worry about Mass Effect. I just wanted a good Mass Effect 4. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. We want the same game. We want a 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like the 1, 2, and the 3. You know, I don't. It's so
Andromeda
frustrating.
was.
Andromeda was okay. It just, what they did was they deviated from what people wanted. And I think that because games take so long to make now, when you take something that, say, when did it come out? Just for argument, say it came out in 2019, right? So we have been waiting since 2013, I think, for a new Mass Effect game. Okay, so between that time, your expectations start to go.
Oh yeah,
they start to go up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is what you deliver. It's a lot like Dragon Age Veilguard. You've got to deliver what you delivered before, just better. That is why you stamp a 4 on it, or a 5, or a 6.
Yeah.
You've got to do a little better. This was a side game. This was not Mass Effect 4. They should have they should have had a studio working on this, and it should have come out 2 years after Mass Effect. If it had done that, people wouldn't have been so hard on it. It would have been like Halo ODST.
They had a lot of development problems with the game as well.
Well, it's because a lot of it because of the Frostbite engine.
Yeah, I remember it launched pretty buggy, and
Frostbite.
It was it was very rough at first. It was supposed to have like a ton of DLC that never happened. Because obviously low sales, EA was like, all right, just can it.
Yeah.
So it could have been a lot more, but I think the problem with Andromeda was it didn't know what to be. Because it kind of wanted to do their own thing. At the same time, they were like, hey, look, it's Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Remember these characters, remember this character? Oh, and this happened, and this happened. They always like flash back to everything, which, I mean, it's fine to a degree because that's what happened.
Right.
It's like, are you Mass Effect 4 or are you something else? Like, pick a lane. And it
they didn't have its own identity.
It didn't want to. And then I thought the plot was average. I've played the trilogy so many times.
Yeah.
And so many times. I played through Andromeda once.
Yeah, same here.
Because the game, the plot of the game for like the main villain, which I completely forgot who they are. That's how forgettable it is for me.
Gorge, the Scram, something like that. Yeah.
It just felt like repeating the Mass Effect trilogy enemies again. Like that's all it felt like to me. It's like it felt like recycled, like worse.
Yeah.
Like it didn't have anything really unique in a galaxy that you made completely new. And in the end, it had like 2 alien races, and the rest is like, oh, Mass Effect trilogy, reference.
That was the whole thing. Is that Mass Effect was planet hopping and these just the adventures you have on these individual planets and these space stations, and that's the appeal to like a sci-fi role-playing game, is that you're if anybody talks about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, they're talking about, it's like, well, when you went to this planet and that dude was on there and this is and you did this and this, and it all has to do with location and quest. And Andromeda really didn't have that. It was repetitive. You did this and you went, oh, well, we cleaned this out. I'm going to go to the next one and then clean that out. It felt more like an Ubisoft game. And there was no Mass Effect charm in that at all, because you were not going, it's like, hey, what do we do next? Well, before we do that, I want to go take care of some unfinished business on this space station or this planet or whatever. And you could do that, you know?
Yeah.
And it didn't, that really wasn't a thing in Andromeda. It was too far removed from what Mass Effect was. And it wasn't the studio that made Mass Effect. The studio that made Mass Effect is gone. It just is.
That's our reality that we always say as well. Like studios 20 years ago aren't the same studios now.
No,
of course, they've all left.
No, not at all.
So yeah, but the next Mass Effect is 4. Like it is actually going to be 4.
Yeah.
Because they teased a few things, and the same characters are in it, like Liara.
If it comes out.
If it comes out.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but after those financials and seeing what they did with Dragon Age, I would not be surprised if that got canceled.
If that got canceled, what else are BioWare going to do? Did they just expect to shut BioWare?
Yeah, that's my point. You got a studio that's made some of the best RPGs, fumbling like every release. Every release since Dragon Age Inquisition has fumbled. There's been 3. Only 3. When did Inquisition come out? 2013? So we're talking almost 12 years. And they've had Anthem. Holy shit, man, that was just embarrassing to watch. That was watching a train wreck. Then you have Andromeda.
Which was a slightly less train wreck, but it was still a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah, it was just I mean, it's objectively a better game. I mean, it worked it wasn't a live service. It was, but again, it wasn't. It didn't have that Mass Effect magic that that we got with the first one. The first one was so. I played the first one day one, and it was just like it was so special. That game was so special because you were it was a new world, it was new aliens, it wasn't dark, Star Wars, everything looks old and beat up. It was new and shiny, and you could go here and you could go there and then spend 3 minutes at a time on an elevator. But
honestly, because when they released the Legendary Edition, which I loved as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, I bought it instantly.
I got it instantly, completed it all again.
Yep,
was very
same
happy.
Here.
But like on the consoles, you can obviously put it on your SSD,
right?
On the console,
yeah.
But you can also put it on the hard drive. So I went, you know what? I'm going to put it on the hard drive. Because it loads longer, but I can have all my conversations in the elevator. Because it's so funny watching them just talk in the elevator.
Yeah, just have like
up.
a random conversation. Instead of like, having it on the SSD where it's like, you go in and you push the button, floor 2. So, never mind, here we are. Yeah, you just walk in and.
So it's like, I don't mind it loading a bit slower because this is. I like characters just talking to each other. It's quite funny. And Mass Effect 1, the music in Mass Effect 1, I'm not a big fan of like knowing about music. The music in just the menu screen alone. I don't know what it is. I love that music.
It hit on a lot of levels, especially with me. It had that very like late 70s, early 80s sci-fi kind of synthesizer. Man, I can hear it now. I mean, it's just it's an incredible soundtrack. There's not many games that have a soundtrack that captures the essence of the game more than that soundtrack. I would say that one and Skyrim probably are on par with each other. Like when you hear the Skyrim soundtrack, you are in Skyrim. It just puts you in that place. Every time I hear the soundtrack for Mass Effect, I'm like I'm in the ship. I'm going to a planet, and it's just excellent soundtrack. Good call on that. So yeah, I'm a little worried about that. I'm worried about BioWare in general. I think everybody is. we already got some layoffs that we can go ahead and talk about because this just hit today, right?
Because I could gush about Mass Effect all day, but let's move
Yeah, I
on.
know, right? Same here. But
Yeah, this was happening, and it's no surprise,
no,
really, considering the state of things. Ubisoft laid off a team in the UK, Leamington, I think it is. I can't know that little place. 185 people. Support studio gone. So
is it the whole studio?
yeah.
Wow. Yep. I hate to say this, but probably more to come from Ubisoft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
go ahead.
I mean, they can have a big restructure, and a lot of people are going to get shifted around, if not let go. And then if Assassin's Creed Shadows flops, if that bombs, that's not looking good for Ubisoft at all.
Yeah, I've there's a lot of footage out there right now of this game, and I'm watching a lot of it, and I mean, I'm only speaking for myself when I say this, but I'm not getting this game, and it's not because of the whole, you know, controversy around it, but
Yeah.
just the more I see it, the more it just looks boring to me. It just looks like the same game I've played over and over again. This combat that they show, it's tired. The combat's just tired. Nobody makes a game with combat like that anymore. It's the same combat we had in with Origins. You know, It doesn't seem like they're really doing a whole lot with it. I don't know. And again, that's just me. I think I'm just exhausted of those games in general. Like I don't really have the time anymore to invest into a 100+ hour game.
Yeah.
And if I do, it better be good. It better be absolutely good and be good, carrying you all the way through it. I think in that sense, I speak for a lot of people. We're kind of tired of these games that just, you know, why make a game that long, man? If you look at the stats and you make a 100-hour game, and only about like 10% of the people that buy the game are completing that game. Not 100%ing. I'm just saying finish it, like finish the story. Because that's what the analytics are showing on those. It's about 10%. So really, you're making that 100-hour game for 10% of your customers that buy it. Why is it 10? After that tells you that 90% of those people got bored with it and just quit and didn't come back to it. So I don't know. I'm just not interested in it at all. There's nothing in it to me that looks, it doesn't look anything like Ghost of Tsushima. As far as, you know, settings, it just looks like a reskinned version of Valhalla. So yeah. I thought Tsushima was really good. I like that.
Funny thing as well, because Ubisoft can't catch a break.
Yeah, no shit.
This is quite funny. There's a PC game coming. PlayStation exclusive is coming to PC.
Rise of Ronin.
Yeah. March 10th.
Yeah. That game looks pretty cool.
Yeah. But like, they're just behind Assassin's Creed Shadows like that.
Yep.
They did that on purpose.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. This is Japanese-made game. They're just like, hey, you don't like that one? Come on over here.
And also, like, you know, Ninja Gaiden just came back as well.
Yes. Have you played this? Have you played 2?
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black?
Wow. Yeah.
My thumbs aren't what they used to be. That combat is exciting. That combat is, that's like, this is not a Souls game, but nothing like that. This game is extremely fast. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is everything you want out of a ninja game as far as like upfront combat, you know, not the stealthy stuff. That's good too, but you know, I mean, it's fantastic. I've been playing it just for nostalgia. I'm not quite as good as I was when this came out, but I put it on easy. But you should play it. You should try it.
Yeah. I've tried it. I went through a couple of tutorials.
Yeah,
And it's so fast paced.
I know.
I was actually quite happy because it kind of, because I never actually played the old games, so
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it, but it takes me back to a time of games that I liked. And I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just that sort of like setting you against the world sort of thing, just battling all these guys.
Yeah,
Just like rushing through and just
you don't stop and talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really
Yeah.
like disconnected with my father, or no, it's just gameplay. There's cutscenes to carry the story, but it's just gameplay, and it's super fast. The first Ninja Gaiden that was on the original Xbox, man, that game looked absolutely amazing. That was one of the games that you would like show somebody that came over. Like when you got, if they'd never seen an Xbox, or you got a new TV or something, man, that was the one you put in. You're like, check this out. And they're like, whoa, this is a game. It looks so good. It had no business looking that good at the time. But yeah, it was very difficult to play because of the camera angles. Ninja Gaiden 2 is maybe better, but
maybe
a little better.
It does keep that 2008 camera angle, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It does keep that.
Yeah, when you jump over here, your camera goes over there. Like, where are you going? I can't.
But this is the kind of remake that I think classifies as a remake.
Yes.
Not just a remaster, but it's literally, because like a remaster can be minimal, really. It's like, oh, you went from, I don't know, PS4 to PS5, and it's 4K now. But like,
they just
this is
add
like
a little,
360,
sprinkle some stuff on it.
Yeah, 360 to Unreal 5.
Yeah.
Like, it looks beautiful,
and it looks the same game. It's not like it's not like you play it and it goes, wow, this is so different. It doesn't even look like this looks like the original game, just better.
Can I have every game like in the PS2 era be like that?
No shit.
Just remake games like that. I mean, because holy shit, that brought me back to years ago. And I'm like, yeah, wow, I like this.
It's back when games were made to be fun.
Yeah.
And not political messaging shit.
Yeah.
Just
okay. Yeah, we like our stories as well, but we just want to sometimes just button mash, have fun.
Yeah, man. That's what that's what it's about. That's kind of what we're going to get into with the Xbox Developers Direct, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about right now because we're going to obviously pushing this along a little bit. So let me bring up my website here so I know what I'm talking about. So before we get started, we did this last time. What would you rate this Developers Direct? What would you give it as far as a score? Like A, B, C, D minus?
I'd give it an A, honestly.
I think I would too. I think mostly because of one game, but yeah. So let's go down the chute here. The first one we're going to talk about is South of Midnight, because I want to kind of get that out of the way. And I want to know what you think about this game. After seeing this new trailer where they're showing actual gameplay and cutscenes and kind of what the story's about and the studio and all of that. Which, by the way, I really love these. I love the fact that they can hand over everything to the developer to kind of introduce their game and talk about, where this came from and what they're doing with it and everything. What do you think about this?
I really enjoy this game style.
This kind of combat unique. And everything.
It's just very unique. The stop motion doesn't get used a lot. So when you see like art style like this, it really is like, oh wow, that looks interesting. So immediately it's hooked me from the art style, the way it's playing out, and it's really funny how the game started out because I'm like, oh, what could this quest be? Because you're going on this quest and there's a giant alligator, and a giant fish, and all this magical stuff's happening, and the first scene is what was it, a hurricane or something?
It looked like a flood.
Yeah, like it's like a hurricane or a flood,
Yeah.
and the story is the house fell away and now she's got to find her mum.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
found that really funny. I thought, okay, fair enough, let's go find her.
Yeah.
And now there's evil monsters everywhere because of course there is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's made me laugh. But yeah, I love the art style. I think I might be one who actually plays it at a lower frame rate just to see what it's like, because you can turn
What is wrong
it
with
to
you?
you can turn it to 60, I think.
Well, I would hope so.
For gameplay, or you can have it like a stop motion type frame rate. I might try that honestly because I love stop motion so much. I don't know how it translates to gameplay though.
I can tell you, it sucks. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. There's been games in the past that have tried to do this, and it might. Now, by saying that though, it probably will translate better going from cutscene to gameplay.
Yeah.
Because that is very. Even watching this thing, I had a big problem with that. I had a big problem with like a 15 frame per second cutscene, and then going into a super fluid gameplay.
Yeah.
It's really no different than having like, a busted up old PC where it's like, oh, the cutscenes are pre-rendered and it's like 60, and then you go into gameplay and it's it's like 20 frames per second. I don't think that's smart, and I don't think it translates well as a say a theatrical feature. Like if watching something like that, like if this was, a movie, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with it. Much like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where they used a technique that was like 15 and 20 and blended it. It was really complicated and weird, but it worked, and it was really cool and very comic book looking. There's a reason for that, because Spider-Man is a comic book, and it made it look like a comic book. This, to me, doesn't have the reference or the reason for it to be 15 frames per second. I don't know why
I get that.
They made that choice.
I mean, they're trying to be, just different.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, we talked about that before. It's like nobody's innovating, nobody's doing anything different.
So they do something different, and it's like, I don't like it. Well,
well, I mean, if you do something different, I can't say that what them doing something different is bad. I'm just saying, personally, I don't think it translates well. I don't think what they're doing differently is good for playing a game.
Yeah, I'll have to see when it comes out.
Yeah,
because I think the Spider-Man game also does that. You can play the Spider-Man Miles Morales game.
You can play his character. There's a skin that you can get that changes him to like that frame rate. And I got that, and I played it for like 10 seconds, and I went, I mean, I think I'm gonna throw up, and had to change back. Right, because some people are affected by that. Some people can't watch stop motion; they get motion sickness. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's.
I've never got motion sick or anything, so
nah, me neither.
It doesn't matter to me. I don't really care if a game is a lower frame rate, if it's like designed that way.
Yeah, again, that's fine. Like if you're saying if you can play the game and at that frame rate, which just sounds like my brain is going, "Fuck, what are you saying?"
Yeah, tell that to a PC gamer.
Well, right. Like, what do you want me to do? Use onboard video? So I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to kind of wait and see that. But
just see, because games I used to play as well, I don't know what frame rate they were, they were stop motion games, and that was
Mm-hmm.
like the Wallace and Gromit games,
Yeah, there's one
stuff like
called
that. With
Clay Fighter. Do you remember
mm,
that? It was
not
actual
sure.
stop motion, like the animations they did in stop motion, and it was a
Yeah,
fighting game. That was very unique, but yeah, it didn't really. I don't think it sold very well. So
no.
I don't know. Um, I am not interested in this game. I'm really not. I again, it's a strong female lead that probably is going to do everything right, but not have any. You know, it's all going to be about her. And plus, you lose your mom in a flood, and then all of a sudden, there's magical creatures. Like they're losing losing me somewhere in that transition. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like
Yeah, no,
is
that's funny.
if you get
Honestly,
transported to another world, then it makes sense. But
yeah.
I live in the South, and I travel to the Deep South.
Did you encounter any giant fish or alligators?
No, man, and there's nobody telling stories about that stuff. And this is stuff from like 70, 80, 100 years ago.
Yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with it or anything, but it just doesn't. Man, I can't get over that
yeah.
handcrafted art style is what they call it.
Yeah, well, I personally just am a fan of that. So I'll see how it goes when it
Oh,
comes
I
out.
love
Obviously,
stop motion. Don't get me wrong, but in a game,
every game we can try and Game Pass, so it's great.
exactly. So
What was it said? I think she's like talking about like the scenario of the game. I think she's a I forgot what they called her
a spender or
yeah,
something.
I don't know,
It's some kind of
spinner?
magic, right? She
Yeah,
can do
like
some type of magic.
she sees the world,
Yeah.
with these monsters. That's what it is,
Yeah.
magic stuff.
I mean, it sounds cool. Like the premise, like all the monsters they're not monsters. They're like need to be helped, which I kind of dig that, differentiality between that and like a Dark Souls, where it's like, oh, hello, you need to be killed. And I get that, but I think it's just, it's one of those games. It's like, it's just not for me. It's not made for me. It's not marketed toward me. It's just not, not my kind of game.
Strangely enough, I had a game that I was thinking about when I was watching the gameplay. I don't know why, but for some reason I was thinking Prince of Persia. If you played Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, you have to fight all these monsters, and to kill them, you have to stab them with your dagger.
Right.
And they all get sucked up in it.
Yeah.
I can't remind me what it was because she's attacking these things, and all of a sudden they just unravel. And
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah, you had the dagger, the dagger of time. Yeah.
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 So that's what I was thinking of. I thought, all right, I like this.
Yeah. I mean, I think the
Probably nothing to
combat
do
looks,
with
looks good. But you'll have to play it and let us know.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna.
I'll play it because it looks fun for me.
This
That's
one,
April
8th. Yeah.
April
So
8th.
soon, a couple of months.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then the next one was Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This looks this is I'm going to give you my take on this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like this could be the next big RPG, or this could be a colossal faceplant. I can't tell. It's like it's like every other frame of this that they showed, I'm like, ooh, oh. I mean, it just I can't get a take on it. So again, I'm glad that this is coming to Game Pass on PC, so I'll be able to try it out because I'm a new fan of turn-based RPGs. And this is a fantasy version of late 19th century France, which is like just bizarre. So it's a new take on it. But what was your take on this?
I actually thought it was really creepy.
Yeah,
Some of the
it's very dark.
monsters,
Yeah.
very very dark. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah, looks like it's probably very adult, very dark.
yeah. So like,
very
oh, this
French.
is fun. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't like it. I've played like turn-based games before. I'm not a big fan of them, but like I've played them before. Again, like we can just try it and That's the best thing. Just try it and see if you like it
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah, I'll definitely be giving this a try.
I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm not a big, role playing turn based player,
Yeah.
but I'm curious on it and see what they do with it. I
I
really I just enjoy the developer when he was talking, because he just came out and was like, I wanted to make a game. So
Oh yeah.
I just rang my mate and he got his mate. Here we are in our studio making a game. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you just rang him up and went, hey, let's do this? And now
Yeah.
you got this great big budget
Yep.
France game. Like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, some of the best games have started that way. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like, is this thing going to be like a contender for Game of the Year, or is it going to be another? Oh my God, it's broken. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
it's woke, or it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
But
that kind of excites me because I can't get a lot of times. A lot of people can do this with like movie trailers. Like they'll watch a movie trailer and go, I know everything that's going to happen in that movie, and it sucks.
yeah.
I'm usually that way with game trailers. I can watch a game trailer. If you're showing me gameplay with cutscenes there, I can kind of get a feel and gauge what I'm going to be, how much of my interest is there. Much like South of Midnight, it's like -8. With this game, I'm interested, but also I can't really get a feel for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting. This comes out on April 24th. So again, we got 2 games coming out in April that they're showing. And then we're going to move to Ninja Gaiden 4, which was absolutely just a killer trailer for this thing. And this is their teaming. This is very interesting. They're teaming with Platinum Games. I can't think of anybody better to make a Ninja Gaiden game than Platinum Games.
Yep.
That's just incredible. Now, what they're... I don't know if they're partnered. I don't know what that means. If they just like basically hired them to make a Ninja Gaiden game, I don't know. But
Yeah, it's kind of weird wording the way they said it.
Yeah.
Also, I called it. I said
you
what it
did.
was.
You absolutely called
So,
that last week. I have to hand it to you.
yeah.
Nothing announced for Nintendo Switch 2. I have
Yeah,
to take
I
that
don't. I
L.
don't. I don't
yet.
think. I don't think they'll announce anything for the Switch 2 until April.
Well,
when
if they don't,
Nintendo
then I'll
actually-
be totally wrong. And I'll
Yeah.
be sad about it.
Because Nintendo still haven't actually shown us everything. They just went, here it is.
Well, like I said,
See you in April.
I just wanted to say, I thought that they were just said, hey,
Yeah.
it's real. Here it is. This is what it looks like, so that these other people could announce their games
Yeah.
for it. But again,
maybe not.
I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
We got a couple of months though for me to be right. They shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black,
Yeah.
which is a remaster. And yeah, we talked about that earlier. And then I guess that was it. That's all they showed was Doom the Dark Ages.
Doom.
Oh my God. I was excited about this game. Now I want to play it right now. There's one thing about Doom Eternal. I did not like that game. I totally respect it. They did everything in it really well. It's a beast to play on console and PC. I mean, you can just take the graphics up to freaking 1000. Yeah, that engine is just amazing. But it's a platformer. It is totally a platformer, and Doom is not a platformer. I'm sorry, but it just I didn't know what I was playing. It just didn't feel right, and it didn't feel like a Doom game to me. This looks like Doom. It's on the ground, heavy hitting, moving, sliding. You got a shield with a chainsaw on it. I mean, holy cow! That gameplay is just absolutely epic.
Yeah, I don't think they miss with Doom.
Oh man, it's just so good. What do you think about the sliders? You can go in and cater it to like the difficulty. Cater it to you.
Yeah.
You can slide it. I think that is brilliant. From Software, put some sliders in your game so I can play it.
Yeah, so of course you have like some people trying to make it a negative, but it's like you can
Who?
customize it the way
Who?
you
Give
are.
me
Just
names.
yeah, well, just the internet, dumb people.
Oh, you mean about the
But
sliders?
yeah, like
Well,
oh, well,
I
why is
mean,
this like this and
come
that?
on, man. That's the same as, well, it's not the same, but I mean, that's like making fun of people that have to use accessibility options. Man, fuck
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Because I tell you what, because they do a lot of accessibility options, because a lot of other people will play this.
Yeah,
People
people
don't
that, yeah,
people don't realize. I don't think, unless maybe they do, but Twitch doesn't. That everyone plays games.
yeah, to
I,
some
I
extent.
know
Yeah,
I know people who are blind who play games
yeah,
because accessibility options, they can
yeah,
hear it, they can do this, they can do that, and they play through a game. They complete it.
yeah.
I don't know how, but they do.
Yeah, I mean it's, and I think that, and I looked at the sliders, and a lot of it has to do with like speed and motion, and
Yeah,
it's, um, I think that, I think it's great. You can kind of, again, catering your game, or let me back up a little bit. Uh, if you can like change the game a little bit just to cater to what you want that game to be, I think that's fantastic. I think that's
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
fantastic. I think a lot of developers get, they get so caught up and concentrated on manipulating the player through the game, like having a door that looks like this and having a person say this at this right time, and that I think they've gotten to the point where it's like the game is playing itself. You're not really doing anything. So when games like, say, Indiana Jones, it doesn't really tell you anything what to do. Stand out. And with games like Doom, it's like, hey, we're not going to tell you how to do this. You're going to figure it out. But we're going to give you the ability to cater to how you want to play it. That hands the game to the player. This is why I don't particularly like a lot of the PlayStation games, because it's, when you see Spider-Man 2 trailer, it's like, oh, you're swinging and you're punching, and then, oh, you do this incredible move with this helicopter and this and this. Oh, that's not, you don't do that. That's not you doing that. That's a cutscene.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
yeah.
you. That's Sony, or that's the studio going, oh, excuse me, I'll take that controller from you for a second. Hang on. This is really cool. Oh, wasn't that really cool? Okay, here, you can have the controller back now. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So
Yeah,
bring on
yeah.
more games like Doom.
I can imagine like when this comes out with Doom, um, the amount of like speed runs that will happen.
Oh my god.
Like
Yeah.
let's turn everything up to maximum, max enemies, max speed, and
Yeah.
blast through it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is gonna hit. This is gonna hit hard.
Yeah.
I don't think they miss with Doom at all. I haven't actually played the new Dooms, honestly. I might just play through them before this comes out.
Have you ever
So
played? You've played original Doom though, right?
yeah, yeah, I played like
Okay.
original
Okay.
Dooms. And
That game, and I say this all the time, but that game still holds up. If you
yeah,
play it like a newer version, like a GZ Doom or something like that, where you have mouse look, kind of modernize it just a little bit. The combat in that still applies, man. It's still good. It's about distance between you and the enemy. You don't want to get too close. It's about what weapon to use on what enemy, and also manipulating your environment and the movement in your environment so that you don't get like cornered, and you don't get into a situation where they're just piling on top of you. And they showed that for like 3 seconds in this trailer, where you're moving, you're strafing between these fireballs, and then you're shooting this guy, and then they
yeah,
went into Doom Dark Ages and doing the same thing. It's like, oh man, that just got me super excited, because that's what makes Doom so much fun and so special. You kind of get that with Doom 2016, and I do recommend playing that one first. Doom Eternal is more polished and it looks better, but you get more of a, I feel like you'll get more Doomness out
more
of
Doomness.
2016.
Yeah,
But if you if you like jumping and jumping puzzles, which I do not, you will like Eternal better. So, and that game's man, that game's long too. It's got a lot of stuff in it. So yeah, play them, see what you think. I do suggest playing them on PC with a mouse and keyboard. That's just me, but you can try it any way you want to. So all in all, I think it was a great developers direct. Of course, again, they didn't drop ship Gears collection, and we didn't get anything on the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, which I was kind of surprised, but even though I know that's not going to be released anywhere around Avowed, because I know that that's not something that you don't want to drop like two, first person RPGs close to each other, because they'll just compete, and they don't want to do that. So we may not even hear anything about this until after Avowed's out and reviews are in and everything's, those numbers are done, and they'll go, oh, we got this too. So
what was it, February 18th, is it Avowed? I think it's February 18th. Yeah.
Well, unless you pay more, it's like the 15th.
Oh, whatever. I don't care about the pre-order days. But what I like about the developer direct is obviously all on Game Pass.
Yep.
So, Microsoft are all in on Game Pass, but also the games are all play anywhere.
Yeah.
So even if you buy the games, you got 2 copies right there.
Yep.
And they're gonna push play anywhere hard now.
Well,
so I think that's the next step for Xbox is if they're gonna go, hey, look, here's our games. They're on PlayStation, they're on Switch, they're on PC, they're doing this and this and this. And like, why would we buy Xbox things? Well, for the ecosystem, I find. So why not have a game that you can buy 2 for 1?
Yeah.
So they really want to sell your games on the devices. So you buy it here, you can play it all here.
Yeah, that's one thing that if anybody asks me about going to PC from console, the first thing I ask them is, of course, what console are you coming from? And if they say PlayStation, I'm saying, well, it's still a better option, but you're not really going to be able to bring your library with you yet. I think that Ghost of Tsushima has cross-play, I think, but not cross-purchase. So you still have to buy it, but your saves
nothing with Sony is cross-purchase.
No, but so if you're coming from Xbox, then any first-party title that you bought on the Xbox that is available on PC, if you log into the PC with that same account, it's all there, man. It's all there. Yeah, and when I tell people that, they're like, wait a minute, I'm not ditching my whole library. And I'm like, not the whole library. I mean, other stuff, like if you bought it from EA, it may not, it's,
like all Microsoft stuff, or, some partners.
Some
but
EA
I think
stuff,
they're trying to,
something,
I think they're trying to push it as, a form of, for like the next Xbox. I think Play Anywhere might be a big part of that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They were talking about the next Xbox recently as well.
I don't think it's going to be an x86 processor. It's going to be maybe an ARM or maybe something else. I don't know. I could only hope that there's a reason for that, to keep costs down and quality up. I don't know, but I don't know, man.
Interesting what interesting what they talk about, because they're always talking about the next console, the next Xbox console, and the handheld. But the next Xbox console, the home console, will be the biggest leap ever. I mean, they'll say that anyway.
Yeah.
But they are trying to make a point of we're going to have great hardware.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find that interesting, because they just let their games sell anywhere at this point. So they do want to make a point with their hardware. I'm interested in what actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you gotta think, like, why are they making hardware if all the games are going to PlayStation and PC, why would you own an Xbox? And the only thing, if somebody asked me that, the only reason I would say, I guess, is probably but just price. For you can get a used Xbox Series X for about $400, and that allows you to play Game Pass and play pretty much anything with a reasonably good multiplayer network and a good ecosystem and a great UI with a good controller. I mean, those things are subjective, but I think that console-wise, the PS5 is not a good purchase. I just don't. I don't think it's a good purchase, especially if you've got, say, a PS4 and you say, hey, should I get a PC or a PS5? Absolutely, I would say get a PC. Because honestly, the best games that they've got right now, you can still play on your PS4. What if, a PS5 is, we don't even know what they got coming out this year. They're canceling and closing studios, and they're obviously going through something. I know how this sounds, but it would not be very surprising to me that in the next upcoming year that they might actually pull out of gaming.
Really?
Yeah. Taking some of the stuff that they've got right now into just taking it to PC, and they're having a complete restructure at Sony. They're focusing a lot more on movies and TV shows. They built a car.
Even the movies were crap, though.
It doesn't matter, though. I mean, it's that shift.
Even their movies were terrible. The only movies that the Sony movies that I really liked were the Venom movies.
And even those were okay. I mean, they were
they're okay. They're guilty pleasure,
right?
But they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Madam Web or whatever.
The others were completely terrible.
Oh my god! So I'm waiting for that to be free somewhere so I can watch it just to see how bad it is. But
yeah, I saw some clips. I'm like, what is this? Why they can't use Spider-Man, I'll never know. I know it's to do with rights and things, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
They half own Spider-Man. They're doing Spider-Verse maybe, and
they did three Venom movies with that one Spider-Man in it. That's the dumbest thing ever. What are they doing? And that's what I'm talking about. They don't seem to know what they're doing with anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, "Oh, Xbox is dead. Xbox is dead." Look at Sony. What is Sony doing right now? I've never seen Sony do this, where they go, "Hey, we got nothing. Oh, wait, we got these games. No, we canceled those studios. And everybody's gone. We don't have this. They don't have anything." They came out and said their 2024 lineup is very thin going into 2025. So I know they've got games. They've got Fair Game. They've got Wolverine, supposedly, if that didn't get canceled. I mean,
they even Insomniac was like, I read a story about Insomniac tweeting, and they basically said, "Yeah, don't expect this soon."
No, I think, and honestly, I think because of that leaked footage, it got such a bad response that they went back, they scrapped it, they started over. I guarantee it. I can tell when you have a trailer for something and then you see some leaked footage and it's terrible, and it not terrible in a way of like, oh, it looks buggy and not graphically pleasing. It looks objectively dumb, especially for the character that it is. Then they see that and they go, well, wait a minute. And they're smart enough to know, hey, we're not just idiots. We're not gamers. They don't know what they're talking about. If they went, it's like, holy shit, nobody liked this. This is the game we're making. Nobody liked it. I wouldn't be surprised if they leaked it.
Yeah, that's something I always wondered in games or media or entertainment, anything like.
Yeah, all this stuff got leaked. Yeah.
Who leaks these things? Who is it?
Maybe it's
But
them.
I think half the time it is them.
Maybe it's somebody there going, "Fuck Sony. I'm throwing this out there, and we'll see. We'll see. I think this is garbage." They put it out there, and it's like, yep.
Yeah. I think half the time it is the companies just to test, gauge interest and be like, what happens if we release this?
I'm telling you this right now that Sony has banked so heavily on these over-the-shoulder cinematic, resource management story games. People are getting tired of that. They're getting tired of it. There is a small group that it gets excited about the next Spider-Man, that gets excited about the next Last of Us. But look at the numbers. They go down with each version. Spider-Man 2, did it outsell Spider-Man 1? I don't think it did. It might have hit the same, but you want those numbers to go up. You want that to sell your console. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hitting about 10 million on each one of these games, and it's keeping the lights on. They're not making the bucks. And it's just
considering that every game now is also getting higher and higher cost to make.
Exactly, to make, and that's what's surprising to me. Like Spider-Man costs like what, 120 million to make. Why did Spider-Man 2 cost 365 million? It's the same game. Why did it cost that much more money? Like you need to look at what you're paying for there.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest problem Sony has is they're so focused on some sort of realism to their games that
it's cinematic. They want them to be movies.
Yeah, but that causes them to just balloon out of proportion budget-wise.
Yeah.
And then half of them tank. Look at Concord. It did not have to cost that much.
Yeah, but that's not the same kind of game, though.
Yeah, but the reason is the same because
of the cinematic
because of the cinematics, the quality, the mocap, and all this. They're using so much stuff for all these games when Concord didn't need that at all.
No,
they don't need to spend that much on that type of game.
No.
And now they had made a huge loss on it.
Well, I think also, when a studio like Spider-Man comes out and it sells buttloads, and I liked that game. I had a lot of fun with it. Except the parts that took the controller away from me. Again, I don't like that. Let me do the cool shit. I can do it. It's then it's like, oh, well, that was our budget. And then somebody goes, okay, you gonna make another one, Spider-Man 2? And like, yeah, we are. We're gonna need some more money. We're gonna need a little more money because look how much this sold. There's a leverage there. It's like, oh, well, we've made you this much money, so we can make this one even better if you give us some more. There's that aspect to it, and that's where they need to go. No, you made a good game with this budget. You can do it again. Done.
Yeah. That's also the problem in games.
As an armchair CEO.
Yeah, but the problem in games, or any medium really, it's like you had 50 million to spend. It made, 500 million, sold gangbusters.
Yeah.
Well, the next budget has to be 400 million to sell $1 billion. No, it doesn't have to be like that.
Right, and they get that from movie budgets.
Yeah.
Somebody makes a cool movie for like 15 million and it blows up, and then they want you to make a sequel and they give you 200 million to do it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It blew up because they were limited, because they had to use effort. That's why they do well.
You're setting yourself up to lose money by doing that.
Yeah. Look at the movies. Joker 1, Joker 2.
Right.
Why did Joker 2 happen? Because Joker 1 made God knows how much. I
guarantee that Joker 2 had a much bigger budget, right?
Yeah. They put Lady Gaga in it, so by default.
Yeah.
and then of course the actors want more money because they're Joker.
Yeah, because the previous movie did. Right, exactly. Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's and again, that's why they're failing. That's why they're not making as much money. Everybody's looking at Microsoft like, they don't know what they're doing. They're dead. Blah, blah. Look at their financials. They're making a buttload of money. They make more money a day than Sony makes in a month.
Yeah.
Because they have a subscription service, and they get money from that, and people buy the games on the subscription service as well, and they get money from that. I mean, they seem to be cracking the code to sustaining these studios. And the previous CEO of PlayStation, who retired recently, in an interview said that to buy the remasters pay for the next game. Now think about that a second.
I saw that.
Think about that. You buy a game for $60 and you play it. It's like, oh, this game was good. I liked it. It's great. Okay. A couple of years later, it's like, is there going to be a sequel to this? No. They're working on it. But instead, in 2 years, you're going to get the same game for $70. It's going to look a lot better, but we're going to take some features out of it. But we want you to buy that again. And these people still, they do it. They go, oh my God, I'm going to buy this again, and I'm going to play it again, and it's going to be great. And then they remaster it again. And all the while not realizing that by doing that, it perpetuates them making remasters over different, diverse games. Like different stuff. And I knew when I saw these games coming out with Sony, The Last of Us, Days Gone, God of War, they're all the same game. You can't do that. You're gonna set yourself up for failure. Look at the early PS3, the late PS2, early PS3 lineups. I mean, we had some fantastic, completely diverse games in that library. I mean, you had shooters, you had adventure games, you had all kinds of racing games, you had just goofy, bizarre, weirdo games, you had a lot of Japanese stuff. I mean, it's like if you had a PlayStation, you could find something that you liked. Now it's like if you have a PlayStation, you got 4 to choose from. Oh,
because that's why
buy a new one that's even faster, and you can play those, at a little bit
faster.
higher resolution.
Yeah, because that's what I loved on the PS2, because I was a big PS2 fan.
Yeah, who wasn't?
Obviously, that console sold the most at the time.
Yeah.
Until even recently, until the Switch, I think. But
because
that console had everything, every type of game.
Yeah.
You look at Sony now, their first party is like, okay, God of War, Spider-Man, Last of Us. Oh, and Astrobot.
Yeah.
so yeah. And now all the live service has gone out down the toilet.
Yeah, now they're canceling studios because they released one and it was god awful, and it's I don't know. I don't know how we got on Sony, but it just I don't want to talk about them every week. It's a lot of doom and gloom, and I hate to say that, but I mean again, I said this last week, but like if you're a Sony fan and you're kind of feeling left out. I mean, I would. It seems like the only games that are coming to PlayStation are made by Microsoft. And when Indiana Jones comes out on PlayStation, play it, man. It is really good. It is so much fun. This game is a lot of fun. It's a fun game, man. You're not gonna nobody's gonna be talking about their feelings, or it's fun. But also you need to look at how much money are you giving them. What is your return? If you're buying their service and you're paying monthly for something, you need to look at what you're getting back. We all pay for Netflix at some point and then go, I'm not even watching any of this garbage, and you cancel it. But what do? Like 3 months later, something pops up and goes, oh, okay, well, I'll just renew my membership. And then you got it for like the rest of the year, and you still don't watch it. I mean, it's we all do it, but you need to be looking at it. These things are expensive, and consoles are getting consoles are encroaching that price tag for a PC, and you get so much more with a PC. so many more options, so many more different games. It's just unbelievable. So again, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. And I wanted to talk about this for a little bit because this is just intriguing and news is a little slow. And I didn't really preface this with anything in our notes before the show. And I understand. And I wish there was an AI to flip my camera image because I'm backwards this week. But I am looking at you. Like, so we got that. Yeah. It's so we've talked about this before, but like AI in gaming, AI is like all over the place.
Yeah.
You can go to a website and talk to an AI that is almost human-like, which is a little scary. How are they going to incorporate this in games? Nobody's really talking about this. Like the new Mass Effect, right? I'll use that as an example. They're making the game right now. Fingers crossed. What if they could incorporate an AI system that your companions, not like the people you talk to, but just your companions, could have different traits and say things on their own that are not scripted, and do things on their own that's not scripted, based on your relationship with them and what alien they are, or if they're human, or whatever. I think that I know that's probably on a game design level, that's probably extremely scary and probably hard to do, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think about this? Is that a possibility?
I mean, I have no idea about game development or AI, but I don't see why not if they're pushing all this AI stuff to do everything. I don't know. I don't know how much it's implemented in games. It's really funny actually saying Mass Effect as the first one, because the whole thing on Mass Effect was there was rogue AI. So
well, right, yeah.
Maybe that's not the best game to use on.
What was AI? What was the character, the female character that was that AI and kind of built a
Edie.
body? Edie, yeah.
Edie, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like take like that one character, like not the whole game, but just like that one character does, like, it's like if you get in a situation, you're talking to somebody that doesn't go very well, they just walk up and go, bam, took care of the situation for you. I mean, just the randomness of that is probably gameplay-wise just levels beyond what they're capable of doing. But I just think about that. I mean, we could be essentially like going into a renaissance of gaming with AI, with characters that, can communicate in like real time. Or like a procedurally generated world, but it's catered to how you want it. Like the sliders in Doom. It's like, how do you want this world to be, and you just and it creates it for you. I know that's like scary probably for putting people out of jobs, but
it's a slippery slope with AI.
Yeah,
when it comes to jobs and using things and
and it's if you talk to a programmer, they'll tell you it's like it is garbage. Like AI, like ChatGPT and all these things is like on a programming level, it is like duct taped together, and it's not as shiny and new as they say it is. And so I'm sure there's that aspect,
which is good, to be fair, because we don't want AI taking over already.
No, Google already made something that like started to create its own language, and they didn't know what it was doing, and they had to pull the plug on it.
I remember the other one as well. I can't remember if it was Google or Facebook. They made AI, put it online, and or was it Twitter? It's probably Twitter actually. Yeah, but they put this bot online to learn from people.
Yeah.
And in a week, it was racist and and sexist and saying Hitler should have won. And it's like, oh my God. And they had to pull it down.
Oh, I know that guy.
So it's like, don't take AI to learn from humans, because we're garbage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, I know that they probably won't do that. In reality, I'm pretty sure that they'll use AI to like learn to like manipulate us or monetize us in games. innovation. It seems to sell right now. It's like seems to only be like pushing like ray tracing and DLSS and graphics and graphics and graphics.
Yeah, that's the only thing like I've seen with AI, even Nvidia's cards, and
Yeah.
there's
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a great
Yeah.
asset, but at the same time, it's like nobody's asking for super realistic games. We want better games. We want innovation. What
We
about
want-
like a
we want-
multiplayer game that
Yeah.
the levels or AI like generates levels every time you play the game? They're different, so you never play the same multiplayer level ever.
that would be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that's not maybe that might not be the best idea. I don't know, but again,
I don't know. I think it should be used in assets, not for losing jobs, but in assets. I think Call of Duty has got in trouble with AI features.
Well, that's them using like AI for
They're using
images and
AI
stuff.
for, yeah,
Yeah, like
but they
Santa
used,
Claus had like 5 fingers on.
Yeah, but
or
they also
6 fingers
used
actually, but
they also use like AI voices, so they tried to sort of get rid of the voice actors. And there's this whole
yeah,
debacle on that. It's like
the finals did that as well. The announcers
Yeah.
they used AI, and they got flack for it, and they came back and they said, "Well, that was just placeholder. We're actually filling that with actual voice actors."
yeah.
Again, it's like you're using AI wrong. that's
Yeah.
you're only using it to cut corners when you could be using it to make the most amazing games ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like if we
ever.
want, like we want better level design, we want better physics, we want more people, more enemies on screen, more power, and things in the game world to like bring it to life. AI
Right.
could help with that.
Right.
Let it do that. Let it do something. I don't know what it does, but yeah,
I mean,
do something with that. There's good probably
Well,
be plenty of things to do.
what about just like one boss in a game that is completely different every time you play it? Just one boss. And that character is created based on the gameplay that you have gone through up to that point. It takes all of the analytics from how you do it, what weapon you like to use, what blah blah blah, and then creates an enemy for you, like your perfect enemy. Like, what's wrong with that? That's not taking a job from somebody. It's still you make it, but what it can do and how it reacts and all of that could be.
So you want a boss to like adapt to your playstyle.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be cool. Actually,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's there seems to be a PC game that did that. I can't remember what it was, but it seemed like it's like you got to a certain point in the game and you actually fought yourself.
Yeah,
And
that does sound like something
did
happened before.
the movements and everything that you did. It like recorded them or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe that's a fever dream or something. But
that does sound familiar though.
yeah, but it's something like that. I'm not saying, again, armchair developer, but I just wish that they could use. I just want characters that in an RPG that have a little bit more life to them instead of just a predetermined thing, a predetermined just I don't know.
Or if surely if it is predetermined, maybe AI could help with like half the workload of the options. So instead of 3 paths, you have 30.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. And I know that
even without AI, look, the amount of times I play Mass Effect, and that's what 2008 now.
Yeah.
2008 to 2012.
How many endings did you get? Like you got a different ending every time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't just about the endings, but the different conversations you could have with your companions. Sometimes you could do a whole playthrough, not speak to anyone at all. You could do another playthrough, and all of a sudden all these conversations pop up.
Yeah.
And just every time I played it, I was discovering something I didn't see before.
Yeah.
That's what I miss about games now. Like, how can you do that in 2008? It's a struggle now.
That's what I'm saying, because they're not. They don't. They want to push graphics and politics and not innovation. That's the problem, man. That is the problem. Again, why is every character now the same goddamn character? Why are the people around them the same people? Why does the main character have the same issues or none of the same issues or whatever of, previous characters? Why are they all the same, and why are they all doing it right now? It's just bizarre. It's like if everybody just made every game that came out in the last year and a half was a paintball shooter with clowns in it. Not any. I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but I'm just saying it's like, oh, this is a new game where you got paintball guns and you shoot clowns, and then the next game comes out in a couple of months. It's like, hey, we did it a little different. We got clowns with paint guns. I mean, it's like, come on, stop making the same innovation. We just want innovation. That's all it is. I mean, when I play Skyrim, I think about this game came out in 2011.
Yeah.
And I see people online sometimes go, that game is crap. I played it once and it's garbage. I don't think you can really. No. I think you have to play it a little bit to really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to play a little bit of a game just to.
Well, you have to
for a start off.
It's. I mean, you can play it and go, okay, I like this or I don't. That's cool. Again, I think if you play a game for an hour and it hasn't grabbed you, then that's either not a good game or the developers just don't know what they're doing. But if you go into a town at around, I think it's 7:00 or so, right? You're gonna want to sell your stuff, buy some new stuff, and then go to go sleep at the tavern. Well, if you get there too late, guess what? It's closed. It's locked. Why? Because those people that work there go to bed. But they don't go to bed. If you were to break into there, you would see the owner sitting at a table eating dinner with his wife, and they're just sitting there eating dinner. And I've done this with like an invisibility potion. You sit there and watch them. And then after so long, they'll get up, they'll walk upstairs, and they'll lay in bed. And they'll go to sleep. And they'll stay there until the morning. What do they do when they wake up? They come downstairs. They sit down. They eat breakfast. They just say a couple of words to each other. And they get up. And when it's time to open the shop, they open the shop. They go behind the counter and the door's unlocked. No other game does that. Now, here's the funny part. They do that not because you're there. They're not photons. They do it because they're programmed to. They do that whether you are there or not.
Yeah.
Also, there's some shop owners that don't sit and eat dinner. You can find them at the tavern drinking too much. And they will stay there till about 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, they'll get up and they'll walk home. You can follow them. They'll walk home. And they'll go to their house and go in. And they'll sit down, maybe eat dinner, or they'll go in and they'll just go right to bed. That's what makes that game so special. It's like things happen whether you're there or not. And no other game makes you feel that way. You play The Witcher 3. Oh, best RPG ever made. It's not really an RPG. Go to any town, anytime at night. 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, doesn't matter. They're doing the same fucking thing. All of them. They're doing the same exact thing. You can go to a store anywhere at any time. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, there's some games that do close shop, at a certain time. But the characters that are in the shop are still there. They don't do anything. They're not programmed to have their own life. That's what makes it so special. I want more of that, man.
Yeah.
I want games that you get into and things are happening and things are it's random, I don't know. That's where I want games to go with AI.
But. That's what we want. Yeah, like proper worlds to live in, because that's always what they boast about. Look at this world. Look how pretty it is.
Yeah, you can
But
do
like,
this and
but
this
we
in it.
but we want to be immersed in a world and actually
Right,
see it breathing
right.
and and living in, and say that Skyrim came out in 2011.
Yeah,
2011.
yeah,
That's 14 years ago now,
yeah.
and we still haven't got Elder Scrolls 6. But
Yeah, I'm not really
yeah,
looking forward to that. But yeah,
but
it's
yeah, that's what games like should do, especially if you're gonna go big budget. That's what you do budget on.
that's what you spend your money on. You
Yeah.
know, um, I mean, not that I'm going to play it, but like Ubisoft, like Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows, is those characters have a certain amount of AI where they do things and they go to here and they do this and they go to that. But if you follow them, they don't really do anything. They're just on a track, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And then I don't remember any of them like going to bed or asleep unless you had to kill them at a certain time or
Well,
anything. It
yeah,
seems like
yeah.
they're just
Well,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're asleep now.
Sleep forever. So anyway, but yeah, that's where I want AI to go, and that's where
Mm,
I hope that we'll be. But we'll keep updated on that. We can talk more about that another time when
yeah.
maybe that is in the discussion of the world. But right now, I think this comes to a close.
Mm.
But yeah, David missed out. He'll be back next week. He had some band stuff to do. He's in like 8 bands, I believe. And don't forget, ValCon is next week. You can go to val-con.org. Get all the information there. There's some trailers up on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. And check that out. My wife will be a co-host. And it looks really cool. It's going to be a virtual convention for Valheim. If you like Valheim, you're going to want to go there. If you don't know what Valheim is, it's a great introduction. So go check that out. And also, I don't say this much, but and I should say this at the beginning of the show, but if you like this, please like and subscribe. It helps us out.
Yeah.
We could use some other viewers. We're not trying to make money at this. We're not. This is going to be our job. We just enjoy doing this, and we just want to enjoy it with more people. And that's it. So, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See ya.